share with us what students can expect to learn in terms of the curriculum and if there's anything in particular that you would say is unique about the course?
Well, I'll start with the first one, which is the uniqueness of it. So we're struggling with even the title. I don't honestly, Taylor, I don't think there's another course out there like this. I've certainly never heard of one for yoga teachers. Of course, there are pedagogy, university courses in pedagogy, but I've never heard one specifically for yoga teachers. If anyone knows one, please let me know. Certainly people talk about pedagogy, some of my mentors. But what's unique about this course for us is, well, first of all, we struggle with the term advanced. We're calling it advanced pedagogy just because we cover pedagogy, as I said, in the foundational training. But advanced pedagogy is somehow signaling that it's like a little bit outside of the basics, which it is. And what makes it outside of the basics is a kind of metacognition, right? We're turning our lens back, like our reflective lens back on ourselves. So I think that's what makes it unique. It's going to be, in some ways, very different than any other training we've ever run. And some of our trainings can get pretty wacky, but this one's going to get this one's going to get really interesting. I often talk about the practicums as being a laboratory. Well, this whole training will be a laboratory in pedagogic techniques. It's going to be like an inside out course in a way, where we're constantly observing ourselves and each other in the sort of spirit of fun and improvement. And in terms of the content, the way it's loosely organized around a kind of a three-legged stool. You know how like a three-legged stool is pretty stable. And so there are kind of three legs to our approach. And so to effective pedagogy. And so I kind of consider one leg of the stool as mastery of content. And again, that's like experience, right? So that's like knowing what you're teaching. Of course, you don't have to know everything, but knowing a good chunk and feeling confident about it. And of course, that's something that goes up over the years, inevitably. But of course, when you practice, you get more and more content sort of under your belt. Second thing is improv skills. That's something we're going to work on in this training. So there's not much we can do about mastery of content in this training. That's up to other trainings, right? That's up to advanced anatomy, the specific trainings like restorative, yin, those all give you this mastery of content. But the improv skill is something we can really work on. So that's where we're going to get into the fun. It's going to be a little bit more like a drama class than a yoga teacher training in that way. We'll really work on what it takes, what the skills are to improvise under all conditions. And we'll provide some difficult conditions to work in for that too. And then the third leg of the stool is my favorite, and that's presence. So I kind of argue that there can't be good pedagogy without presence. And you know yourself as a yoga teacher, it's really hard to be present when you're thinking about the past and the future and the music and the lights and your sequence and your students and their injuries, and there's so many things, very hard to be present. So it's kind of that magic blend between the skills of improv and the skills of presencing that we'll be focusing on in this training.